I'm getting ready to introduce a very esteemed panel. We're going to be talking about community engagement and nonprofit.
I'm at iHeartMedia. About to get down with my boy UKNOWCELL on the radio, 97.9 WJLB. What up, boy?
What up, though? For your birthday?
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead and do your thing.
Happy birthday to me. If y'all be safe and enjoy y'all day.
I don't give a if you love me. I don't give a if you like me. Asking me how did it.
So, that's like one break.
Okay.
All of this be. So like.
And like you already did these?
Yeah, so this gonna air on Sunday. It's ready, like ready.
Okay.
It's just, I put my mind frame like it is Sunday, and I talk like it's Sunday. So like I talked about I think this the Lil Nas X one.
I like that because you got to be in that same type of moment.
Yeah.
You got to be
and
like.
I'm on, like right now it's 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? So Sunday morning I ain't gonna be as hype, but I still try to throw some personality in there.
Inside the weekend recap this week. First up, we gonna talk about this guy, man. He got caught strolling, but he wasn't on Old Town Road. Details about Lil Nas X coming up, but first, it's Kendrick Lamar with Squabble Up.
Hey. Okay.
So, stuff like that. Just a tease, and then I go into it for real right here. Going into the commercial break.
It's behind the scenes, guys. It's behind the scenes what goes on.
Speaking of BS, seems like the perfect time to talk about Lil Nas X, man. We haven't heard nothing from him for a while, and then he pops up on BS, strolling down the street in the middle of the night in California and nothing but his underwear. They're saying he suffered from an apparent drug overdose, but he also assaulted a police officer. He's out on bail currently. We got the video footage, WJLBDetroit.com. You want to check that out, go ahead and do it. I'm coming back. I got your request, Kendrick Lamar and SZA with Luther. Also Drake with Nokia.
Radio breaking news.
See what I'm saying? I talk about it, and then I send them to our website, and I bring them back around and let them know I got what I got coming up. You know what I mean? So that way I can kind of keep them if they want to hear them particular songs, or you know what I mean, if they want to go check out some other stories, they can do that there. But it's all on our website, and then even once you on our website, you can click listen live from there. So if you get out your car, you can keep listening.
UKNOWCELL, you heard from his mouth, guys.
I gotta do this weather break. I didn't even know that was in there.
See, thank God you checked.
Huh?
Thank God you checked.
Yeah. What is it?
Behind the scenes, UKNOWCELL, doing his magic, working his magic. This is behind the scenes. I'm doing this thing.
You know, they still talking about Breezy Ball, man. It's going down. I'm actually thinking about going to see him somewhere else. I ain't gonna lie. Drop some dates and we'll see if we can meet up, man. Well, let's get into this. Chris Brown is sensational right here on JLB.
UKNOWCELL, WJLB. You've heard him before. I know you heard him on the radio. This is the guy behind the radio. And the man you be seeing on stage.
You know it. It's 97.9 WJLB. You're inside the club, Detroit. It's the homie UKNOWCELL, DJ Twist. I'm trying to tell you, all my birthdays tap in. I ain't got nothing for you, but I can play something that you want to hear. All you got to do is hit me up on the gram at UKNOWCELL. Hit my dog up at TheRealTwist1000_. And as always, at 97.9 WJLB.
You're knocking them joints out. You're not even listening to it? You already got it in your head? Like how?
Nah, I'm just coming up with it off the top of the dome. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, wow.
Listen, man, you know we keep the weekend on lock, not just inside the Club Detroit, but also we be in the streets. You know how it go down. Tonight is Celebration Saturdays. Pull up. Big Dog Blast, DJ Scratch. The broadcast kicks off at 9 p.m. All they be doing is waiting on you. Make sure you pull on up, man. 641 Bobian Street is where you need to be.
You back on for me too.
I'll be having to do all of these drops. So all these go into like this mix I'll be doing on Saturdays.
Okay.
It's called Club Detroit.
Okay. Club Detroit mix.
Yeah.
You played on the radio?
Yep. It be on the radio from 6 to 9
Okay. 6 to 9 on the radio. Club Detroit.
every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Me and my guy DJ Twist.
UKNOWCELL, DJ UKNOWCELL, and DJ Twist.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Now I just got to email these over to him.
Say that again.
I said, so my Sunday show is called The Weekend Recap. It's an easy way for me to kind of like do the show and have pretty much like a roadmap to where I'm gonna do it. But it go over all like the pop news, pop culture news. I just talk about everything and break it down throughout the whole week. Whatever happened during the week, something happened to me in my life or just like in popular news, if we post it on our website, I kind of talk about it.
Okay. So like, are you just coming up with these different topics or different different topics for your segment? Are you coming up with these, or are these like pre-made?
So it's just real life experience I try to throw in there too, like things that happen or that I went through it throughout the week or whatever. I try to throw that stuff in there, but other stuff is kind of just made for me based on whether a celebrity did something crazy or whatever. You know what I mean? I just talk about it. Whatever. Mostly I get my information from our website. That way, it's like it's a connection. I can loop them to something and keep them locked in with our station, whether it's via radio, our website, or our app. So I try to make sure I give them something else to go to, but make sure it's still connected to me and what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. Hey guys, we got my homeboy with me, UKNOWCELL, as you know him. We got DJ UKNOWCELL. So real quick, just introduce yourself how you would do it to somebody else that's watching.
Pretty much I go by the name of UKNOWCELL. I'm a radio professional. I'm a host. I do commercial production, also on air. So that's pretty much all my jobs in a nutshell, man. So radio professional is how I would introduce myself.
Okay. So and guys, we're at 97.9 WJLB. This is UKNOWCELL. He's an on-air radio personality, and right now we're at the station at iHeartRadio, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so just real quick, talk about your some of your achievements within this journey so far.
This is an achievement. Honestly, I didn't even start as an on-air personality. I started off as a showrunner for Mildred Gaddis, which is just like getting news stories and weather and stuff like that. So I started off behind the scenes as far as radio goes, doing pretty much everything from like producing to promotions and stuff like that. And then I got my on-air opportunity, and I've been doing that ever since. I've also got a chance to work with a lot of great people and meet a lot of great people and big talents, you know what I mean? And even just like some people that are staples and are probably like part of the reason why we're able to do some of the things that we do, like people like Dick Gregory, people like Jesse Jackson, and then like your hip hop and entertainment people, the Wiz Khalifas, the Pusha T's, Mace, you know what I mean, those type of people as well. And really, that's just been my, that's been my journey. It's been my grind. I've been doing this for 15 years now.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
been that long?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So uh, tell us tell us who you are today, and well, actually, when you hear the phrase sweat equity, what does that mean to you personally?
Um, is it's exactly what we just talked about. The grind, excuse me. What you willing to put in to get out what you want. You know what I mean? How much work you willing to put in to do it. You got to do your hours. You know what I mean? And work on your craft. It ain't just when the lights is on, is when the lights off. What you doing? You know what I mean? How are you working those muscles to make sure when you get in the position to perform or be called upon, you have what you need in order to do that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Talk that shit, man. Okay. So where did you grow up, and what was life like for you as a kid?
Life was great for me as a kid, honestly. So my family is originally from the west side of Detroit. Rest in peace. My uncle was murdered when I
Sorry
was
to hear about that,
younger.
man.
Yeah, appreciate it. My uncle was murdered when I was younger. That kind of prompted my mom to move from the west side. I moved to the east side of Detroit around like 95, 96. I might have been like 10 years old, like 10, 11 years old, something like that. Might have been even younger. So I grew up mainly on the east side, playing in all the YMCA's. Started downtown.
Oh shit. Hello? Hello? All right, guys. Hey, how you doing? This is Sweat Equity, your sweat, your grind, your journey. So let's dive into what it took to oh wait, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so yeah, I was asking him so where did you grow up, and what was life like for you as a kid?
Like I was saying, man, life was great for me. Like I said, my family is originally from the west side. Um, my uncle, rest in peace, he got murdered in like 95, 96. I ended up that prompted my mom to move us to the east side. You know what I mean? So I grew up on the east side, properly known as 48205 or the red zone. I stay I stay right over there on a street called Liberal, and that's where I kind of grew up for the most part. You know what I mean? And life was good, bro. I was into all type of sports. You know what I mean? Baseball, football, basketball. I grew up in the YMCA's, pretty much east side, downtown. Um, 7 Mile Lasher YMCA.
Mm,
I grew up with a cousin that was kind of just like my brother. Once his pops passed away, he spent a lot of time with us, pretty much lived with us, bro. And
mm,
I'm I'm gonna say I was in a single parent household because I lived primarily with my mom, but my father was always in my life as well. So I had, both of my parents. My mom, she was just like, she held it down. She was dope. She the best. You know what I mean? And then my dad, he chipped in wherever I needed him to be. You know what I mean? Whether it be financially or just showing up to my games, stuff like that. So I don't got that story where it be like I was struggling because I was having fun. Even if I was struggling, bro, I wouldn't have knew because I just was having fun. You know what I
mm,
mean? As a kid, that
mm.
wasn't. My mom did a great job. My father did a great job of making sure that was not my worry. If that was their burden, they kept
Mm,
it. You know what I mean? So,
mm,
and I appreciate them for it.
mm, mm. Okay, okay, that's a good one. That's good. That's good. That's good too. Okay, so what was your household like, and what values or lessons shaped you early on?
Like I said, my household was mainly like my mom. It just was very family oriented, bro. Like I know all of my siblings, even though like
Mm,
I'm my mom's only child. My father had kids and had been remarried, you know what I mean? But I know all of my siblings. Those are
mm,
my sisters and my brothers, you know what I mean?
mm,
Even my cousins, they grew up like that too with me. So it was just real family oriented. It was a lot of just like respect, you know what I mean, was instilled um for not just for myself but for everybody else, you know what I mean, especially elders and stuff like that.
mm,
Um we just real tight knit, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's it was dope the way I grew up.
mm. Okay, okay, okay. So was music and radio or like entertainment big in your world growing up?
Yeah, hell yeah. It was real big. First music. I vividly can remember certain things like growing up as a child that I was exposed to through my mom, like the first artists and things like that. I was exposed to like Heavy D. Like my mom really loved like SWV, Escape. You know what I mean? She was a big Mace fan. So like music has always been a part of my life. Like to this day, bro, I listen to The Preacher's Wife, Christmas, The Preacher's Wife, the movie. I listen to that soundtrack because I remember my mom always listened to that soundtrack, like going to
Cleaning up
school.
to
You know
it.
what I mean? Like so, music was a huge impact on me, and I always, you know, like I said, even if we were struggling, my mom always made sure that I had great memories and great moments. So I remember going to concerts, bro. I remember going to see, you know, like Bow Wow, B2K, IMX. I remember going to see Nelly. I remember going to that Cash Money tour, Lil Wayne and them, they was coming through on a helicopter. Like I remember those things. So yeah, it was super big for sure.
Ooh. Oh man, that's crazy. So did you have like someone that you looked up to in this music or media like environment as a role model?
Yeah, for sure. I looked up to my guy Spud. Like he was the first person that I ever knew that like kind of did this. You know what I mean? And did it to a high level. He was a program director for it's 1075, but back then it was 1059 Jams. You say your audio source.
What in the fuck? Hello? Hello?
It's on there.
No, it's not peaking, but it's on the iPhone microphone. I wanted it on this one. Man, what the fuck? What the hell? Sorry, guys. Like one thing about technical difficulties, you got to get through them, and one thing just about hurdles, you just gotta go. You gotta go through them. Can't go around them.
Yeah,
You just can't go around them. I mean, you just gotta go through them. So, UKNOWCELL was talking about his role models within the music or his role models within his journey.
Yeah, so like I was saying, my dog Spud, he was the first person that I ever knew that kind of like did radio. He was a program director, on air personality. He real big right now in the Tubi movies and just like the movie scene in Detroit. He edited a lot of the movies that's coming out on Tubi that people watching right now. But he was the person that actually got me my first shot in radio. I went to one of his birthday parties and he had linked me up with the program director at the time, which was Smiley. A lot of people know her from being a rapper from Detroit. She like one of the first female artists kind of like get signed. She had a dope record back in the day called Smiley, but I'm Not Friendly. But she was the program director. She gave me a shot. She started me off doing like some internship type stuff just to see if I can get the hang of it. And I caught it quick. And the lady who was training me up, her name was Nye, and she reported back like he can go, he good, he got it. So they hired me, you know what I mean, and I've been working ever since, and I've been working with great people, like, you know what I mean, Kamal Smith, Big Greg, DJ Gary Chandler, DJ BJ, Shorty the Prince, Pagion, AP, like is on the list go on and on, bro. Like I got a lot of people that really helped me out in this game, and I took bits and pieces from it and just made it my own, and now I got my own style.
Definitely got your own name for sure. UKNOWCELL is definitely a household name, definitely for sure. But so when did you first realize you wanted to be behind the mic?
I think initially once I got into it, bro, it took me a couple years to really just like hone my skills as far as doing the producing thing, and then, you know, I've always played sports, so I've always known people. I've always been like a little bit popular, you know what I mean? Like just like in my neighborhood and just wherever I go, kind of for the most part, honestly, just being real.
I
But
met you playing hooping.
yeah,
That's how
you know what I'm
we
saying?
met.
So I've been knowing people. So really, it just was. And for most people who do know me, like this is kind of like a little bit left field because I am pretty much like a reserved person. Like I can turn this off and turn it back on. So pretty much once I got over the fear of just being on the mic and hearing myself is when I kind of like started to enjoy it. But it took me time to really just be behind the scenes, recording myself, going back, listening to it. I don't like how that sounds, just tweaking it, you know what I mean? So it took me some years doing that, but I really realized it like once I really got my feet firmly planted into the game, like probably like I would say 3 years in, I realized like, dang, I think I want to do this. I've been seeing people host parties and I was already throwing parties, but you know, so once I got into it, that's when I really was like, all right, yeah, I can do it.
I love to hear that, man. I love to hear you say that was something that kind of gave you a fear, and you just met it. You just met it head on. You just met it. You kind of just met it head on. Like, no, well, fuck this. I'm gonna get this shit done. I got my mind made up. This is what I'm doing. Okay.
That's that sweat equity you be talking about, bro. It's like you can't like you said, man. When you get faced with them obstacles and them hurdles, you gon' have them. So you just gotta get through them, get over them, get around them. However you can come out on top. You just gotta do what's necessary.
Damn. Okay, so do you remember your very first time being on the air?
Yeah, I remember my first time being on the air. I was nervous as hell. But you know what? I can't remember who exactly told me, but they gave me some great advice, bro. And they was just saying, like, with the radio and just with life in general, you gon' make mistakes. So don't be scared to make the mistake. Make it, learn from it, and then realize it's not about when things is going good, how you react. It's about when it go bad. Like, what did you learn from the mistake, and how are you going to keep moving through the mistake? You know what I mean? Like, it's about when it go bad, how you going to bring it back. Yeah.
Ooh, talk to him, man. Ooh, that's a good talk. So, what was the moment where you thought this? I mean, you already told me, like, what was the moment where you thought that this can be your path? Just pretty much just being around.
Yeah, pretty much just being around, and then me just loving music, bro. Like, I always was around music, like, for a minute. Everybody, man, when Wayne came out and Bling Bling dropped, man, everybody wanted to rap. You know what I'm saying? So I come from that, like, getting the cassette, putting the tissue in it, putting it in a little karaoke machine, recording over somebody's shit, and them being mad at you, trying to spit some rhymes that you didn't thought. So I come from that. So you know what I mean? I always been around music. So once I seen it was a lane for me and it was an opportunity that I can take advantage of, I'm like, all right, yeah, bet this what I'm gonna do.
My boy. So what sacrifices did you make early on to chase this?
Everybody that know me know my son Marshawn. I think he made the most sacrifices. I'm not gonna lie. And if he didn't sacrifice time, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna say I missed a lot of stuff, but my mom, you know, she was a tremendous support for me. Like, she made a lot of sacrifices for me, you know what I mean? And he made a lot of sacrifices because this take a lot of time, you know what I mean? Not only do I do the radio, I work a regular day-to-day job as well, and then I host throw parties, curate events. So you know what I mean, I miss a lot of time. So I think they really made the most sacrifices, you know what I mean, for me to be able to have some type of career and create some type of income. You know what I mean? Obviously, they benefit in certain ways. You know what I mean? I'm able to get them to see concerts, and I make money from doing this. You know what I mean? So they afforded certain things, but I think they made the most sacrifices. And you know what I mean? And I'm married. You know what I mean? So my wife, even though she get a lot of the perks, so she come along with me. My son, he just too cool for school. He be chilling. You know what I mean?
He too cool.
You know, and my mom, she's been coming out to a lot of stuff with me now too, though. As she gets a little bit, I ain't gonna say she old, but as she gets older, like, we try to find that time because it's important to spend that time. Like, I lost one parent. You know what I mean? I lost my dad, so she my only parent I got left. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I try to just make sure that they involve as much as I can, but I think they made the most sacrifices. I'm not gonna lie.
You got a cool ass mama too. I definitely know his mom.
Yeah.
I definitely know mama. I definitely know mama self. Yeah. Okay, so so what was the toughest part of getting into this industry?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I ain't really have a tough time getting into it because I already had a foundation. Like, people knew me. You know what I mean? People vouched for me. I had a great character. I come from a great family. You know what I mean? So, like, I really didn't have a hard time getting into it. But once I got into it, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of long nights. You know what I mean? Times where I would host a club. I would have to be at work at the station at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I would just bring an overnight bag with me, bro. I'd sleep in the station until it's time for me to get up and do my job. So it's been stuff like that. But as far as getting into it, I was just blessed to know a great person in Spud, and then based off his recommendation and him vouching for me, I was able to meet a lot of other people as well who got to know me, you know what I mean, and know my character, and they vouched for me as well. So,
But you could have had a shitty attitude that day you met Spud, and then Spud don't vibe with you. You know, like you could have went through something that day that say, you know what, something happens every day to where you can say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna be. But you didn't have that attitude for you to meet him. That was your moment that took you from here and brought you, to your different places that you have gone. So that's what I'm saying. I think that having a good attitude and being a good person takes you a long way, because you could have been a shitty person that day, and Spud don't know the real you, who you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna lie, Spud was a person that been knowing me since a kid. Honestly, like he's not from Detroit. I want to say from Missouri, if I'm not mistaken. So he moved here to do radio, and my mom met him, and he has a son that's around my age. So he been knowing me since I was a kid. But I do get what you're saying though, because it is about attitude for sure. You know what I mean? And I pride myself on that. For like people who know me, like even on a day-to-day basis, people don't really see me too high or too low. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much consistent. As far as attitude go, like even if I'm having a bad day, people ain't gonna know, because it ain't really for them to know. I deal with it how I deal with it, and then especially if I'm out in the public or I'm at work or whatever, I kind of just stay on the even keel. You know what I mean? I don't trip too much.
I love to hear that, bro. Love to hear that. I love to hear that. So did you ever work free gigs or do crazy hours just to prove yourself?
Man, hell yeah. I worked a lot of free gigs and did a lot of free commercials, and man, yeah, that's really what it be a lot of times to get to where you need to go. It ain't just in this industry, it's in whatever industry you could think of, bro. It's like, even now I still do stuff for free just because sometimes you gotta show your work. You gotta have a proof of concept. At every level is gonna be something new, bro. So every time you elevate, there's gonna be new people you meet who may not know you. Somebody might vouch for you, and that'll get you in the room. But it's like, what can you really do? You know what I mean? A lot of people talk a good game, but when it come to walking it, they don't know how to walk it. Or you know what I mean? They'll tell you this, that, the third, but then when it come down to it, they can't execute. So that's what I pride myself on. Like, I don't be tripping on doing the free gig here and there, because you gotta have a proof of concept. You know what I mean? I just make sure that if I come do this free gig, I got everything that I need surrounding me. If I go do a free concert hosting, I'm gonna make sure I got a camera person. They gonna come video it. We gonna get pictures. I'm gonna use all of this content so that when the next person go on my Instagram, oh, he was cold, he do this, that. Now I'm gonna get some money off this free gig. You know what I mean? So it's just about making the dots connect.
And definitely building relationships and doing a lot of other things for sure. So definitely hell of a job. Okay, so okay, so how does you balance bills, jobs, and still chase your dreams?
I'm still trying to balance it, bro. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just as a grown man or a grown woman, you just know what your priorities are. So like, I know what my priorities are. Obviously I need the necessities, bro. I need a roof over my head. I need food. You know what I mean? I need clothes and shoes. It's just about, what clothes and shoes I'm gonna buy. Like, certain things cost for certain times, calls for certain measures. I mean, you just gotta understand it's balance and everything. And me, I just like to be comfortable when it comes to that type of stuff, clothes, shoes, stuff like that. I just like to be comfortable, but I just make sure that my priorities get handled first. Like, that household come first. You know what I mean? My wife, my son, they come first, even before me. Like, I don't be tripping. Like, I am who I am. I'm gonna be who I am, no matter what I show up in. It's just the confidence in me. You know what I mean? So I don't really be tripping on the extras. I just make sure that my priorities is taken care of, and then I get blessed for it.
Whatever's coming from you, it's here, and it's coming for sure. So, what's a moment you thought about quitting but kept going anyway?
I ain't gonna say I think about it often, But you know, with radio, it's a lot of trials and tribulations. Like this industry is one of those industries that like you kind of retire out, or unfortunately you die out. So it's not too many positions like that. You know what I mean? And with technology, it's shrinking even more because they want one person that can do a whole lot of things. So in my 15-year career, I've never really had a full-time radio job. So that kind of like bothers me at times. It's like, man, I know I got the talent, I know I got this, but there's other people that been in it that's longer than me that got the talent. You know what I mean? And they still doing it at a high level. So you can't really hate the player. You know what I mean? It's just the game. So I just find my energy in the things that I like to do within the industry, whether it's like dealing with new artists and because I love music, I love discovering new music. So dealing with new artists, putting on my own events, you know what I mean, and working with some of my partners on curating events like LaDon, Dan Austin, and other people as well, like a lot of the popular DJs. Just doing the stuff that I like to do, really just keep me going, honestly.
Okay. So what doors open because you put in that extra grind when nobody else was watching?
Man, like this year just been kind of like crazy for me, bro. I hosted like a lot of major concerts and stuff this year, so a lot of them kind of doors just been opening for me. Even this door, bro. Like I've been in radio for 15 years. Mainly, most of my years was at the station across the street, Hot 107.5, which is a smaller station when you talk about company wise. Um, the door to work over here opened up for me by just putting in the grind, keeping my head down. Program director, she had been following me. She seen me always kind of wanted to work with me, is what she expressed, and the opportunity presented itself, and I was able to come over here and get opportunities, bro. Just working hard, I was able to host the Chris Brown concert. I was able to host Mary J. Blige concert this year. I was on, obviously being over here, they do one of the biggest concerts every year, which is the Big Show. I was on that this year. I remember being in the crowd every year watching that. You know what I mean? So, um, a lot of them things has really just been opening up for me this year. So
I know, like, so how you feel as far as in, you said Mary J. Blige, you said some of those same names that your mom was listening to when you was growing up, listening to the house, like, and I'm sure you guys got your mom at some of these concerts and everything like that. How was that feeling?
bro, it feel good to create the memories though. Like I took my mom to the Missy Elliott concert. That's like probably her favorite artist, and it's one of my favorite artists. You know what I mean? So to be at a concert like that and having fun and listening to this music, where I remember vividly before school going to whatever it was, Target, Circuit City back in the day, and buying these CDs with my mama. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing to be able to do that and it come full circle and we can sit, right next to each other at some of these events and have a good time.
I'm proud of you, my dog, for that one,
Sure.
for sure. But also, so looking back, what's the sweat equity investment that paid off the most?
I think it's just the time that I put in. Like I said, I'm 15 years in. I just turned 36. I've been in it since like 21. You know what I mean? So the amount of time that I've invested into, um, not just walking into each of these doors. And when you talk about the different companies that I work for, because I worked for multiple companies in radio. I worked for Radio One, WGPR, iHeart. I worked for 98.7 AMP, which is not even there no more. I worked for 910 AM Superstation. So, and then outside of that, the hours that I put in at home doing commercial production and doing these events. So it's just the amount of time that I put in, bro, is like the biggest investment that I actually put in, for sure.
It's gonna pay off. It's paying off. It's gonna pay off
it's
even
paying
more.
off, yeah.
So was there a breakthrough moment that changed your career?
Yeah. I think my breakthrough moment was probably in like 2013, 2014, when I got a real shot at being on air. And then I brought I brought my homeboy along for the ride, my homeboy Dior. I've been Dior, we was at Hot 107.5 and we created this show called Hot Boy Radio. And then I called my homeboy DJ Gifted, who I've been knowing probably since like middle school. He was an intern at the time, but he DJ'd, and I called him and he was the DJ of the show. And the show took off. Like, we was like one of the first shows, or just one of the first people in radio really using social media to enhance our show by using hashtags and stuff like that, and it blew up. You know what I mean? So I think that was like a breakthrough moment where people were really like tuned in, and I would go places and people would be like, man, y'all heard Cell on the radio, da da da, and like, what, Cell, you know Cell, and that's how I got my Instagram name. You know what I mean? Because people knew me for so much. People knew me for sports more than anything. So when people was telling them like the radio, like, it'll be me and you right here, and it'll be a third person, and we could just be talking. They'd be like, man, the Cell, he killing the radio right now. Like, Cell, like, bro, Cell who, bro, you know Cell, like, he right here. I didn't know that was him. You know what I mean? So
the motherfucking shooter.
Yeah.
Shooter.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So
shooter.
that's just how. I think that was really that was like a breakthrough moment for me, where I knew I was really doing the right thing.
Oh man, dang! I love to hear that, Sal. Okay, just a few more. What accomplishments or accomplishment are you most proud of so far?
Overall, bro, just the man that I become, honestly, and the man that I'm still, growing to be. Like, I ain't nobody perfect. I still got things that I can work on and tweak and make better about myself. But just like the man that I become and the people that like invested so much in me, it feel good that I can make them proud. You know what I mean? Like my mama, my daddy, like my son, my wife, and then just other people that's been around in my life, like my coaches and longtime friends and stuff like that. Where it's like my ultimate goal is to just like, even when I ain't here no more, like for my family to be able to get stuff off my name. You know what I mean? Especially like my son, as he get older, to just be able to do stuff off my name. Like, oh, you sell something, like you good. You know what I mean? That's kind of like really like one of my ultimate goals when you think about just like legacy and trying to have your name live on. That's like one of the biggest things for me.
Oh man. Wow. Okay. So how do you use your platform to inspire or help others coming up?
By being as transparent as possible, trying not to fake it, you know what I mean, and let people know like the real truth, you know what I mean. Let them know that it's gonna take a lot of hard work, it's gonna take a lot of time. At times, it's not gonna be a lot of money available in this industry. You know what I mean. It's not. Don't be afraid of having no hustles or having no real job. You know what I mean. Just be you. So I just try to be as transparent as possible, with my life as much as I can, what I mean, without like interfering or stepping on other people's toes. You know what I mean? My mom, she might like a little privacy. I don't be just throwing her up all the time, but my wife, she like a little privacy, even though that she do her own thing and she got her own business and stuff. So I just try to keep that balance by just trying to stay as transparent as possible, because and know like I'm like kind of like the public figure, you know what I mean? Not my son or whoever. So, but
want to shout your wife business out?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Shade Aesthetics, man. She got a salon in Livonia, 7 Mile in Merriman. She does everything except for hair and nails. So, ladies and even fellas, bro, if you lashes, waxings. She don't really dabble in the makeup too much no more, but that's still something she got in her wheelhouse, or she got somebody in her shop that know how to do it. So definitely tap in, man. Shade Aesthetics.
Yes, sir. So what advice do you give to someone who wants to be where you are?
I tell anybody, it's never too late to start, bro. It's never too late to start. You just got to put one foot in front of the other, and understand, especially with technology, like if you want to be where I'm at, you don't gotta be in these buildings. You could pick up a phone just like you did. You can go grab you these wireless mics. You might not even have the money to get no wireless mic, but you got that phone, and that phone got a mic. So just start doing something, bro. Just like, don't be a procrastinator. And honestly, that's it.
Now, is that something that you had to learn? Because, is that something you had to learn?
To not be a procrastinator?
Yeah.
I don't think I really ever had to learn that, because I always seen, like, my parents, they always hustled, they always grind, they got up and went to work every morning. So it ain't something that I really had to learn. Like, it's been times where I have gotten comfortable and I had to just be like, shake back, like, what you doing? You know what I mean? So I think I had a good representation of what hard work looked like, honestly. So I ain't never really had to. It's been times where I have procrastinated, but that's like nothing that I had to really learn, because it was instilled in me to not do that.
So what's the biggest myth about being an on-air talent that people don't realize?
That is easy. Like people will see me
Or
on
hear
here.
you.
No, they'll see me on here, like the B-roll that you shot of me just pressing record and talking, and thinking that they can do it. You know what I mean? When they don't understand, I've been doing it for 15 years. So it look easy because I worked hard for it to look easy. You know what I mean? So
Well, people
I think,
just may just hear you too. Just
hear you and be like, man, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just think you just talking, but it's an art to it. You know what I mean? It's rules to it. It's certain, ways that you're supposed to go about doing stuff. So I think the biggest myth is that just because you have technology, you can crack a mic and you can do it. You know what I mean? It take hard work. It take practice. It take dedication. As much as I play basketball, I can't just go hop on the NBA team right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the biggest myth, that it's just easy and anybody can do it.
Okay. So when you look back at your journey, and how much of it came down to just raw talent, and how much was sweat equity?
I'm gonna say 60-40, probably 60-40. I'm gonna say 60 of it was like the sweat equity and the grind part, and 40% is the talent. It's like the talent part gonna always be the least part, because there's other people out there that might can outwork you. They might not be as talented as you, but they might have a better work ethic than you, and then that can eventually make them more talented than you. So I think that you can't never forget the grind part. You can't never forget the networking part. You can't never forget the practicing part, bro, because it's somebody out there practicing right now if you slacking. So yeah, I would say 60-40, or maybe even 70-30. But you definitely got to put the grind in.
Okay, so what's next for you, and what are you working on now?
Right now I'm working on my podcast. I got a couple episodes shot. Next, hopefully it's a full-time position within radio within the next couple of years. That's what I'm really working towards, and that's what I've always been working towards. No slight to anybody. I think everybody, they got their own thing and they doing good, but for me, that's just one of my personal goals. I feel like a full-time on-air position, or being in a position where I can call some type of shots that I can shine a light and groom the next me or her, whoever it may be. You know what I mean? I think that's the space that I want to be in. I never been the like you know what I mean? We grew up playing organized sports and stuff like that, so I always been a team player. I always been a leader at the same time, so I don't always necessarily have to have the light on me. Like, I know how to share it. So I think that's gonna be the next thing for me, man, being either full-time on air or in a position where I can bring other people along and show them how this go.
What's your podcast called?
It's called Kicking It with the Homie. Yeah, it's just some chill vibes. I bring, people on that I'm a fan of. Some people I feel like people just need to hear from, and then we have just good conversations sometimes. So conversation all the time, but sometimes it's just like, it may not be somebody that I particularly know, but we always have a good conversation.
Okay, so if you can leave this audience with a sweat equity lesson, what would it be?
I'm gonna give you the same advice that somebody gave to me. It ain't about how it's going when it's going good. It's about how you react when things is going bad. You know what I mean? When you up, everything looks sweet. But when you down, how you gonna go back up that hill? That's really what it is.
Hey, this is UKNOWCELL on their personality for 97.9 WJLB. Do you want to like drop your name and let everybody know how you say if you was on air?
What up, man? It's the homie UKNOWCELL. I appreciate you kicking it with me, and I make sure you tune in and stay locked in. Follow me on the gram, Twitter, all of that at UKNOWCELL, the letter UKNOWCELL.
This is my boy. This has been Sweat Equity Stories. Like I tell everybody all the time, if you're saying yes to something else, you're saying no to something else. And you give me your time, and time is one of the most biggest things and one of the best things that we currently have here. And for you giving me your time, I highly appreciate that.
Oh, for sure.
My boy.
Anytime.
Hey, UKNOWCELL, and we'll be back doing some more things. Just maybe seeing him in his element on the stage or wherever he is doing his thing. But telling you, UKNOWCELL got more bigger things up and coming.
For sure.
My boy, UKNOWCELL, thank you. This has been Sweat Equity Stories.